Hello everyone. Welcome to our webinar on quantifying the ROI of your learning program. My name is Shrishti Chauhan and I am the co-host. As a fellow lifelong learner, I understand the challenges you face, and together we will dive into this topic. I'll introduce you all to the host, Georgie Jacob, who is also the director of marketing in Certify Me. Let's take this forward. Georgie.
Hello, everyone. Good morning to everyone from the US and that side of the world. And good evening to people from India and across. My name is Georgie. I'm working as Director for Marketing at Certify Me. So, snapshot about Certify Me. We are a online digital credential management platform. I'll talk more about the platform in the coming up slide. So today, I think, as you all know, we have gathered here to discuss in brief about the specific of how to increase your return on investment via adding the gamification element to your learning modules, as well as how you can leverage digital credentialing in improving your ROI. So these are the two elements we'll be touching upon briefly. So once again, thank you all for taking your time out in this Wednesday morning and joining our session. So before we start off for deep dive into the main topic, I'll start off with a small introduction of myself. I'm an entrepreneur. Initially started my career in one of the largest edtech from India called Byju's Learning App. Then I started two ventures, one in the core tech blockchain space, and second one was in the education space, building an edtech platform for kids extracurriculars. So these two ventures, it was acquired by two other entities. So had a great stint with those two companies as well. And currently I am working as director for certifying. So my primary domains are into product development as well as in marketing and growth. Also, as a part of giving back to the society, I am volunteering for a India-based startup community called Head Start. So this is a small snapshot about me. Now, moving on to the participants for the day. So I just had a conversation with Srishti the other day regarding what exactly is the audience size and what is the nature of the audience. So you guys also would understand who all are participating in this particular webinar. So primarily, we have folks from different universities, professional training backgrounds, and e-learning sections. And we have invited folks in the CEO, CXO title as well as in the manager title. So these are the primary participants I think we can see in the particular event. And I would also advise you guys to, since it's a community of focused group of e-learners as well as education members, I think it would be great if we all can share our LinkedIn profile on the chat, and maybe you guys can connect offline and then discuss your synergies after this meeting. So that's all. I think I'm not taking much of time in that. Now let me move on to the main topic for the day. So what exactly is gamification in this particular space of education or edtech or e-learning, whatever you want to call it. So it's about taking in the elements of game design and applying that specific concept onto non-game context. So one simple example I can tell you is, so I've been in my early past, when I was starting my career, I was working for a software services company who was developing an application where they are gamifying the HR software, wherein coming to the office every day is made as a happy experience, where they crack something every day, they earn a badge, they earn something every day, and that makes them motivated to come to the office to work again, put their efforts, work positive towards their organization and so on. So that is the whole design of taking those gamification elements of competitions, rewards, and achievements, and applying those in different segments. It can be in HR domain. It can be in the maybe a B2C website that someone is creating. It can be in the education domain and so on. So what are the main impacts that we can see by implementing this gamification on the learning segment? So the primary pain point that most of the learning segment, most of the education segment is facing is keeping our students, keeping our audience motivated, and keeping their learning outcomes improved. So I think even all the education platforms are seeing, I think in the past 2 years specifically, we are seeing a drop in the online system because the COVID has passed and people are moving into different streams. So how can we keep them motivated enough, maybe motivated in one single class, keeping their attention intact? Also, if it's a month-long program or a 6-month program, what is the completion rate of a student? How can we improve that? So gamification is one solution, one implementation that we can add in order to increase the motivation as well as to improve the learning outcome of these. So we should also, so by implying or by implementing this gamification into the learning modules or whatever domains, it can be HR or any other domains, we can also generate a timely feedback for these participants. Where if it's HR related, it can be to the workforce. If it's for the education, it can be for the students, and we can also recognize their impact. And all these together will help them in having that knowledge retention in the whole journey of learning. So that's a primary impact that we are seeing in the gamification application. Now, how keenly can we implement the gamification in a learning program? So all of us, whether it may be a offline brick and mortar learning program or maybe an online program, we'll have, so initially every course material will start with the learning objective. So initially we need to, for any course that we take, whether it may be an accounting course that we are creating, or whether it may be a, say for example, a K10 program that we are creating. Each of the course will have its own learning objective, and that is where we want to tap in, improve the benefits of our end user. Those are the students. So let's initially identify which are the learning objectives. We should also analyze what is the content that we are going to introduce in this particular program, and in that particular content, what are the gaming elements that we are going to implement? What are the rules and what are the mechanisms that we want to, whether it can be, say, for example, every day, if they are coming to the particular program, they are taking up the particular session, then let us incentivize them with one specific star. Or maybe, so when I was going back to my, so I've implemented a smaller gamification in my second startup. That is, so we were handling kids. And so in that, so we know that kids are very much restless when it comes to participating in their as the daily sessions online. So what we used to do is every day when they are attending the particular program, we'll be awarding them a particular star in a digital manner. So they will have a dashboard of their own. And then kids can see if they are attended this particular program, they'll get a star. And there's a pathway that we have created for them. And every time they attend each of their sessions, they will earn one stars. So what I was seeing after the time moved on is basically these kids, when they were coming to the class, when they were having the group sessions and so on, they were discussing on like how many stars they got, how many stars I got, and so on. So those are specifically for kids that I was part of, but this also applies to different segments as well. So that is the different gamification elements that we want to implement there. And then for implementing these gamification elements, there is also a visual element that really plays a cue there. So we should design good quality graphics in order to incentivize. So like I mentioned about the star or the pathway that these guys are cracking. And then by the implementation of learning program, it is also our motivation to give them the right feedbacks and also rewards. So feedbacks in the sense, if they are moving down in the learning grade. I think we need to give them that kind of a feedback. So, but it can also be in the positive manner. So that's what we need to do. So give them proper feedbacks and rewards. And then another important factor, the sixth point that I want to mention here clearly is, so the power of social learning. So if they are in the group, let us create gamification or gamification elements by collaboration, maybe in a pair or in a group of 5, whether they can do up an activity, and then when they have completed that activity, maybe they are earning something at the end of that particular activity. So that is including the social interaction, and then thereby bringing a gamification element. And then all this will help the students as well as the education party in providing a proper progress tracking. In the e-learning platform side, they will get a proper clarity on how the course is progressing for the students, how my curriculum is working, how my specific program, my teacher is working for the student, that they will get a proper insight there. And for the students, they will also understand how the particular course is moving for them, whether it is a fitting for them, whether I need to spend more time on this, whether I need to improve on that, and so on. So that is in terms of the tracking and progress. And then it's all about iterating and improving on the same journey. It's not about we initially design a particular gamification model, we implement that, and then we sit back and enjoy and let it go. So it's not about that. It's about getting those feedback from the students, from the teachers, and then reiterating on the same and improving that journey to improve the experience of the students. So these are a couple of the elements that we need to really take in while implementing a gamification element. So how can we implement a gamification element by using digital credentials? So that exactly is what we are trying to discuss today. So I would like to introduce you to the concept called micro badging and certifications. So so before going to micro badging, I'll give a brief intro about Certify Me. So as I mentioned, Certify Me is into certificate and badge management services for learning programs. So what we exactly do is for e-learning platforms, for universities, for education online platforms, we become the software providers for releasing their certificates online. It can be certificates as well as badges. So what the users or what the learners would be getting is socially shareable as well as digitally verifiable certificates or badges. So one such example you can see on the right side on the computer screen. So that is a small sample. Maybe if you are more curious about that, I think we can take it offline and discuss more about its implications. So we are ranked as one of the top 3 in the G2 Crowd platform. G2 Crowd platform is a rating agency for software platforms. So in the digital credentialing management, we are ranked in the top 3 category. So that's all about Certify Me. And we have almost around 100,000 users who have got their certificates from our platform, and almost around 150 educational platforms, both offline as well as online platforms, are using. A couple of the major names like Harvard Business Publishing, University of Europe, and a couple of them are mentioned here. So that is a nutshell about Certify Me and what impact we are trying to create. So what we are trying to create is solve the problem of verifiability and bring in the solution for trust. So you can see there is a lot of tampering and a lot of malpractice is happening in the certification space, specifically in the university certification and e-learning certification. So that is where we are helping these institutions as well as platforms in bringing those digital certification online. So that's in terms of Certify Me. Next, I'd like to invite Srishti to take a couple of minutes to introduce a small poll as well as a couple of announcements.
Sure, Georgie. So I have an exciting announcement to make. It is our pleasure to introduce to the Excellence in E-Learning Leadership Award 2023, also known as ELA. This is prestigious award aims to recognize and honor individuals who have demonstrated exceptional leadership and made significant contributions to the e-learning industry. Whether it is through innovative design, mentorship, or driving positive change, we have to wanted to celebrate those who have shaped the future of e-learning. So nominations are now open, and we encourage you to visit our LinkedIn to submit your nominations. Also, we are sharing a poll in the chat related to our webinar topic. It focuses on the challenges or barriers you may have faced when measuring the ROI of learning programs. Please take a moment to check the chat and select the option. Your participation in this poll will provide a valuable insights for our discussion. Yeah.
Srishti, are you posting the link on the chat?
Yeah, so I have posted that link in the chat. I will request everyone to check and do submit your views on that poll.
Sure. So guys, I think if you are having any specific doubts in terms of this gamification topic, I think I'm happy to answer those. Maybe you can post your comments or chats on comments or questions on your chat, and we'll be able to answer that maybe by the end of the session, or maybe a couple of my team members are also there on the chat. They'll be able to help you there. Okay, so I think I'll carry on with the specific session. So thank you guys for taking part of that poll. I believe you might get some answers, some feedbacks from this poll. Now, moving on. So moving on to our concept of how we can implement the gamification element via using the credential. So I'm introducing you to two specific solutions, two specific concepts. The first one is called micro badging. That is introducing small specific badges for small term programs within a whole course journey. Say, for example, I can give an example since I'm coming from a marketing domain. Say, for example, someone is going to learn digital marketing, and specifically they are taking a course on Google Ads. And in Google Ads, there is something called as performance ads, which is a subsegment of that particular category. So if a particular student has completed, he might not be able to, or he is not interested to complete the whole journey. But since he only wanted to learn about specifically about this journey of performance max campaigns. So this concept of micro badging, if we are able to implement from a student perspective, from an end user perspective, he will be able to complete that learning, and also he'll be able to earn that micro badges, which they can share to their social media platforms. So even Certify Me is giving a brilliant solution wherein they are having around 40 plus shareability of option in different 40 plus social media platforms. So what happens is at the end of the day, these students, when they get these micro badgings, they'll be able to list those micro badges on their social media the wall, as well as they will be able to share on their messages and post. So other new people in the similar domain would be seeing this. Okay, can look into the whole program, the certificate, and maybe they can also come across your program, your course structure, and maybe they can even sign up to your program. So that is an acquisition model that a micro badging concept can really introduce you to. So this is a concept of micro badging. So introducing those small time badges for sub-segments of a whole scale program. So earning that, again repeating, maybe earning that small credential, micro credential for the performance max module that the student has completed. So this is the concept of micro badging. And the second concept is something called as progressive badging or tier-based badging. It is nothing but a level-based credentialing awarding solution that you guys can do. So for example, I can give you a solution, or I can give you an example like, so if there are, in a course structure, there are 7 modules. And after completing the 7 modules, there would be a certification that is awarded to the student. But in order to achieve the whole, achieve the main certificates, the student has to complete each of the 7 levels. And after completing each one of the level, the student would be getting one badge each per module. So one human element that we can entangle with this is when they are earning something for whatever work they are doing, there is a sense of satisfaction or gratification that is getting affected to these students. So that immediate gratification that these students are getting will really motivate them to take up the next level, the level after, and then by the end of the whole course, completing the whole course and so on. So from a learning perspective, from a course conductor perspective, our objective is to make our users complete the whole course journey. So that is where we would be doing. So the progressive badge or tier-based badge, that is where these two solutions will really come handy. So Certify Me has that kind of a feature in our, that kind of micro credentialing in place. So if you guys are interested, maybe you can take a look at it. So these are the two solutions that I would wanted you guys to get the information on and then move forward. So what are the changes that you will be seeing after implementing this particular solution forward? One is that we can create a personalized learning paths for the students. So implementing this will help them in creating their own learning path. Say, for example, it's a 7-module program, and then students only need to take in the first, third, and seventh. And the first, third, and seventh, if they complete, they will get those 3 badges. So that can be an earning thing for them. That can get them the right badges, the right skill sets, and also they can showcase that to the society or the social media platforms. So that is the personalized learning path. And the second is obviously when we are implementing this gamification, the main important factor is the retention and the mastery of these concepts. So that will obviously be impacted there. And there is clear learning objective that we are mandating for each of these students by implementing this gamification and certification. So, and the other thing is, like, as I mentioned, these certificates can be a sign of recognition as well as validation of achievement, with these students can share online. And via sharing online, our platform, our educational platform, our educational university or institution also will get a branding space, also will get a branding visibility on the social platform, ultimately bringing in more students to our to your platform, to your learning course, and so on. So altogether, this becomes a data-driven insights where we'll be able to understand who all took the specific modules, what is the completion rate, how many earned the whole certification program, how many took the personalized journey and completed the inside modules, and so on. So these are a couple of the major changes that a micro credentialing or a micro badging can impact your learning journey. So these are a couple of the impact points that we can see by implementing this. So at the end of the day, I'm just ending this whole journey with a small note. So in order to finally improve the return of investment on your platform by implementing micro credential, you have to make your efforts towards making the students happy. At the end of the day, when the students are happy about your platform, about your learning journey, about your course curriculum, that will ultimately bring you more return on investment. And then micro credential as well as the gamification elements can really play a key role in making you achieve that particular solution. So on this, again, we would be able to help you guys to achieve this. We will be able to implement this in your learning journey, in your implementation journey. So for that, we also would like to share 2 case studies. So Srishti and team would be sharing one mailer after this particular session on how 2 specific organizations, one in Australia and one in US, how they have implemented the micro credentialing system on their learning modules, and what were the end results and what were the impacts that they received on this particular implementation. So you would be able to go through the same. So that is in terms of the 2 case studies. So thank you very much for taking that time out in joining and spending time with us. We will be coming forth with more such interesting content and more interesting stuff. So once I believe you were able to capitalize on whatever information that we shared with our micro credentialing platform. Thank you very much.